October at the stunning Glenelg Golf Club.
Bookings include golf for four, on-course food and beverage package, two-course lunch, an amazing guest speaker and much, much more. So book your group now at fiveaa.com.au.
It's all thanks to Phil Hoffman Travel, official sponsor of 5AA's All-Star Golf Day.
Set sail on an 11-night Great Barrier Reef cruise aboard the revolutionary Celebrity Edge with Celebrity Cruises and Phil Hoffman Travel. Visit Port Douglas and enjoy an overnight stay in Cairns and Airlie Beach. With 29 world-class restaurants, bars and lounges, plus the breathtaking magic carpet, Celebrity Edge takes cruising to the next level. Various departures from Sydney in 2026. Book now to save up to 75% off your second guest. Book online at pht.com.au.
The news and information that matters. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Showers increasing in 19. With the 3 o'clock news, I'm Kendall Brettig.
Jayco's 50th anniversary mega sale is on now. Start your next outdoor adventure with savings on campers, caravans and more.
ANZ has been slammed for its decision to cut thousands of jobs by this time next year. Alex Riddell reports.
ANZ expects to cut around 3,500 jobs at the bank over the next 12 months, while 1,000 contractors will also be impacted. With ANZ headquarters in Melbourne, the majority of job losses look set to come from Victoria. Some of the jobs impacted are expected to be IT and back office retail workers. The bank says customer-facing workers won't be affected. The bank says it's part of a broad restructure, but National Secretary of the Finance Sector Union, Julia Angrasano, has described the move as a strategy without any detail.
This is about chasing even greater profits, and it's out of control.
The final phase of the state government's knife laws will kick in from July next year. Retailers will have to safely store and secure dangerous knives kept in publicly accessible areas. Attorney General Kaya Ma says it doesn't apply to things like cutlery.
These are for knives that can be dangerous. So knives that have that sharp cutting edge or a sharp point. So things like bread and butter knives or knives in a cutlery set or disposable bamboo knives that won't apply to. Just those knives that we have seen, unfortunately, particularly in the eastern states, used to hurt others.
Australia Post will begin sending parcels to the US again after temporarily pausing its services due to import tariffs. The suspension affected businesses and customers, although gifts under $100, letters and documents were exempt. Services will resume on or before the 25th of September. A Greens candidate injured when police were breaking up an anti-Israel demonstration in Sydney is preparing to launch civil action over what happened. Hannah Thomas suffered a serious eye injury during the incident in June. All charges laid against her have now been withdrawn. Her lawyer says they'll be seeking legal costs and launching action in the Supreme Court.
I is still affected and the outcome of that is still unknown, but it's a very, very serious injury and compensation will be sought.
The family of 94-year-old media mogul Rupert Murdoch has reached a settlement in the long-running dispute over control of his business empire. The BBC's Peter Bowes reports it ends years of infighting.
The family dispute stemmed from Rupert Murdoch's attempt to install his eldest son, Lachlan, as his successor. He shares his father's political views. A court in Nevada had previously blocked his effort. But under the agreement, Lachlan Murdoch will secure control of the sprawling media empire, which includes The Times, Fox News and The Wall Street Journal. Prudence MacLeod, Elizabeth Murdoch and James Murdoch, Lachlan's siblings, will receive just over $1 billion each for their shares in the business. In effect, the deal maintains the company's conservative stance at the highest level.
Turning to 5AA Sport.
Explorer Caravan spring stock clearance is on now with incredible deals. Corner of Grand Junction and Prospect Roads.
Crows star Josh Rochelle has overcome a knee injury and illness to be available for selection to play Hawthorn in Friday night's knockout semi-final. He hasn't played since round 17 but is ready to resume providing he gets through training tonight. The Crows will hold an open session at Adelaide Oval from 5. While the Lions expect Hugh McCluggage to be better for the lesson he learnt during last week's qualifying final loss to Geelong. McCluggage was heavily tagged in the qualifying final and restricted to a personal season low of 14 disposals. Teammate Josh Dunkley says he has no doubt the All-Australian winger will bounce back against the Suns in their semi-final this weekend.
I just feel like that lesson that he learnt last week is going to really benefit him. You know, we were talking about it straight after the game, things he could have done differently, and he knew straight away. So it's a bit hard in the heat of the moment, especially in a big final where you're playing against a great team, to be able to change the way you're sort of playing based on what matchups you're getting. But I'm sure Huey will be really good for us this week.
Essendon ruckman Sam Draper has told the club he's leaving to pursue free agency. The 26-year-old is expected to sign with the Lions after 78 games across 9 seasons with the Bombers, although the Crows are also in the mix. And North Melbourne and Hawthorn are among the clubs hoping to get retired Giant star Cal Ward to join their football departments. And in tennis, Australia's Priscilla Horner's hit a career-high ranking, climbing 20 points to be number 106 in the world. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Looking the goods for the run home today. We're accident breakdown free, which is great. The freeway's working well. A little bit busy. Main North Road at Enfield. A little slow at the moment. Salisbury Highway as you're driving in through Dry Creek. And we do have works, which is sluggish too at Door Park. Goodwood Road near Grange Road. Busy Bryson Road, Brighton, with a camera Kelly Road, Modbury North. At Mercedes-Benz Adelaide and Unley, enjoy a $2,500 deposit contribution from Mercedes-Benz Financial across select models. T's and C's apply. Australian Credit Licence 247271. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
To the weather, showers increasing in 19, showers tomorrow down to 15, a shower or two on Thursday, 16 and 16 again for Friday. Right now, 17. Now let's see what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Kate Collins. Tonight, the investigation into the deadly light plane crash on the Eyre Peninsula. No plans to close beaches. The latest from the Senate inquiry into SA's toxic algal bloom. Fake smartphone warning. How to avoid this costly con. And the Adelaide Premiership heroes on why the Crows can go all the way. 9 News. Your news. Nightly at 6 on 9 and 9 now.
Stay informed, get involved. 5AA, always Adelaide. 5AA Afternoons with Leith, Forrest.
It is the last hour of the show, 8 minutes after 3. Thank you for tuning in. You're listening to us on 5AA, on the AM band, 5AA.com.au or via the app. You might even be watching us now on the Complete Care live stream, Facebook and YouTube. Welcome to you. We've got a big hour on the way. We're looking at South Australian music in particular this hour. The boys from the 64 are going to join us in the next half hour because they are celebrating their 10th anniversary. I mean, they're still so young now. Makes me feel old. But they are clocking up their 10,000 hours, so we'll speak to them about that. But I'm delighted to have Music SA CEO Christine Schleute in the studio.
Well done.
Thank you, Christine.
Lovely pronunciation.
Lovely to see you. What's the origin of Schleute?
It's Swiss-German.
Right.
So right on the border, which is you get the double-barrelled CHTH,
Yes.
and that's what makes it very tricky.
You would have had to spell it.
Constantly my entire life. And if people get it close on first pronunciation, they get a gold star.
SCH.
Yep.
LOI.
Yep.
THE.
Yep. It's a curly one, isn't it?
Schleute.
Yeah.
That's a great name,
It's
though.
a ripper.
Lovely to have you.
Thank you.
There's a lot to talk to you about when it comes to Music SA. So you're the Music SA CEO.
Correct.
First and foremost. Let's talk about that. Give people who may or may not be aware of the history of your organisation and the great work that you do.
Yes, so Music SA as an organisation is about 30 years old. It is a not-for-profit organisation that is focused on the contemporary music industry in South Australia.
Mm-hmm.
It has had a few iterations over the years. For a number of years, it was a registered training provider offering music industry courses, but predominantly it's always been a not-for-profit.
Yep.
And the origins of it actually go back when Australian music was really thriving, and there was an organisation called Oz Music that set up a network nationally.
Yep.
And so that was the origins, and every state has a peak body, and most of those peak bodies came out of that Oz Music origins. Over the years, over the decades, we have changed. We have adapted to the music industry because, of course, the music industry is a very dynamic industry and changes a lot. And the current version of Music SA is the peak body for the contemporary music industry. And we have predominantly two focuses. The first one is to advocate for the sector and represent the industry, and that is to stakeholders and to government and to the national industry. And we do have to remind the Eastern Seaboard that South Australia has a terrific industry. And increase that visibility. We also offer quite a large program of industry development and pathway opportunity, which is working with people who are working in the industry in South Australia or who are very serious about developing careers and supporting them to grow their business and their music out of South Australia. So that's really what our function is.
Twofold question for you. Let's start sooner rather than later. The peak or post-COVID bounce back, how have you gone since then?
Music SA, I would say, has probably been able to capitalise on the pandemic because the industry was in such disarray after the pandemic. So it really created a space, along with other key stakeholders in the industry, for Music SA to really step forward and reconnect with the industry in South Australia.
That's good.
And I feel that has been really strong. But you use the word bounce back, and I would say more generically that hasn't really happened for the music industry. I would say now the industry is in a state of structural transformation. The old industry, as we know it, isn't there anymore and operating in that way. And I don't think we've quite landed at what the new music industry is going to be into the future.
Yeah, because that was my second question. You mentioned Oz music and what Australian music was and South Australian music was in the day. I mean, it's a very different landscape now, isn't it?
It is almost unrecognisable compared to how people will remember a thriving industry from 2 or 3 decades ago.
Yes.
And almost every facet of that has changed. So some of the really big, we call them pillars of the industry. So some of the really big things that have changed over time is the demise of the really big multinational and global labels, which often was the pathway for artists to find commercial success through major labels. That is being broken down, and artists are setting up independent careers and representing themselves. So we see a rise of what we call the independent sector within the music industry. Audiences have fundamentally changed. I would say that was starting to happen pre-COVID, and COVID accelerated that. People are consuming music very differently to how they used to. They're not actually going out to see live music in the same numbers. Audiences will say they love live music, but how they consume it is quite differently. Venues have been really hard hit, not only from declining audiences, but rising costs. Insurance, audiences are not drinking as much as at the bar, and the bar take is often what underwrote the success of live music venues.
And do you think, like, we all get nostalgic for that? Maybe as we get older, we think, I remember when every night of the week there was something on. You know, you could go to a pub and you could see a great band and hear a great performance. And it's funny, we're having that conversation off air. I've spoken to a number of local musos of recent time. And anytime I invite them in and plug their show, and I'm almost thinking of trying to come up with some kind of way of doing it more often for more Adelaide musicians, just to give them a bit of love, because apart from maybe a gig guide somewhere online, the smaller guys and girls, they just don't get any love at all. I don't know. I know you're doing amazing work now, but it's kind of sad in a way that we don't have hopefully we can get back there, or at least a new version of that.
Yeah, and personally, I don't think we'll ever get back to seeing venues thriving 7 nights a week. I think the way people want to digest music is really different. I think audiences want different styles of venues. They don't want to be out late at night, 7 nights a week. We all live really busy lives now, more complex lives than what we ever have before. And if you've got young families that you're trying to raise, the last thing you think about is heading back out to see a band 11 o'clock on a Wednesday night. So
But how did it work back then? You know, like what were our parents doing?
We didn't have social media.
Yeah, that's true.
We probably didn't spend as much time in front of a screen. I don't know that our work lives were as frenetic as what they are now with the demands that we have now.
Because it feels weird in that we've never had more adaptability with our jobs. The old days of the 9 to 5 was that's it. And then you would go out and you would have a good night. Now you can work different hours and finish at lunchtime, and yet people are still more time poor than ever.
They are, and often choosing to be more reclusive and spend time at home with all of the comforts, because of course a lot of us enjoy a really good level of lifestyle, which means we've got streaming at our fingertips, we've got comfortable sofas, we've got takeaway food at fingertips if we don't feel like cooking, and that kind of makes it really easy to not move outside the front door if you don't want to.
Well, we're going to take a short break. On the other side, you've got a lot going on, which is exciting for the industry and for the work that you do there at Music SA. You've got your big music awards coming up. You've always got the Hall of Fame, which is worth talking about. And it's speaking of 10-year anniversaries, the boys from the 64, but it's the 10th anniversary of us being a UNESCO City of Music. So we'll talk about that on the other side. Christine Schleute is my guest. How'd I go? Happy with that? Excellent. Music SA, CEO. More after this. Short break. Back soon.
Cats. Andrew Lloyd Webber's legendary musical returns to Adelaide to celebrate.
No more. If you need to improve your joint mobility and flexibility, try Arbor Vitae Joint Health for the relief of pain and other symptoms associated with mild arthritis and inflammation. Arbor Vitae, it's wellness backed by science. The main ingredient, pycnogenol, has been widely studied for 40 years with more than 160 clinical trials and 450 scientific publications. For more info on Arbor Vitae's products and its own clinical study, visit arborvitae.com.au. That's arborvitae.com.au. Available in all major chemists and health food stores. Always read the label and follow the directions for use.
September is Savings Month. For great tasting endless water at the best possible price, call Puritap now on 133502. It's a quality product manufactured right here in SA at the best possible price. The sun's coming back and September is Savings Month at Puritap. Don't waste time searching, call Puritap now, 133502. If it's price and quality you want, call Puritap now, 133502. We could be in your area this week.
Well, every child deserves a place where they are understood, they're supported and they're celebrated for who they are. And at Anglicare SA's Daphne Street Autism Specific Centre, they're passionate about giving autistic children the very best start. The Prospect Centre brings together early learning with therapies like speech and occupational therapy, and it's all in one place. This means that every child gets the support that is right for them. When it comes to children's development, Anglicare SA works on the things that matter most. We're talking about helping children grow their social skills and build confidence. They can manage their emotions, and this is all done in a caring, long day care setting. Why not take the first step today? Visit anglicaresa.com.au and you can find out more. Anglicare SA, where every child's journey matters.
Bathroom Renovators Warehouse.
Looking for a stunning new bathroom? Want the high-end look without spending a fortune? BRW can design and renovate your bathroom from start to finish at a budget that suits you. Visit our showroom today and see our beautiful new bathrooms on display. BRW, beautiful bathrooms at warehouse prices. 16 Research Road, Paraka.
We are BRW Bathroom Renovators Warehouse.
5AA Afternoons with Leith, Forrest.
Complete Care live stream, Facebook and YouTube. Thank you for watching as well as listening to us this afternoon. 19 minutes after 3. Christine Schleute is here, Music SA CEO, doing amazing work for the local industry. You've got your big awards night coming up. It's an exciting time.
We do. We run it at the end of each year, and the awards really celebrate not only the excellence but the depth and the breadth of the industry we have in South Australia, and it offers a range of awards to artists and music industry professionals for the work over the last 12 months. So this year, and we do aim to try a different venue every year to keep mixing it up. I'm really delighted we're going to the Adelaide Entertainment Centre Theatre this year, which is a very different look for the awards. And the venue itself will give us some great scope to play around and have some fun with it. And the awards are on the 28th of October. We start at 5:30 in the evening with the VIP function, then head into the awards at 7 p.m. And it's a very big gala-oriented event. Artists and industry dress up like you wouldn't believe. It's very star-spangled and it's a pretty fantastic night.
So you got 600 artists nominated across a variety of categories.
Yeah, we do. Not only artists, but also music businesses.
Yes.
So artists, venues, festivals, producers, studios. We've got categories for Best Music Award, for Best Photographer. We even have a category for Best Music Educators. So it really picks up all the working parts of the industry and gives a nod to a lot of the more invisible roles within the industry, which I'm particularly proud of as well.
And People's Choice Awards, people can get involved and vote?
Yes, that's a big part of our awards. So they're genre-based and artists nominate, or people nominate their bands, but it's publicly voted on. So anyone who's got a love of South Australian music and a particular affinity with different genres, there's a voting platform. So if you just kind of use your browser to look for People's Choice, you can jump on, put your vote in now, and the votes run through to the end of the month.
And that's the thing, everyone's got a different style, don't they? Like there are some music that you can appreciate, but it's not your thing. But there's niche markets for every type of music.
Yeah, and I'm constantly astonished by how diverse people's listening tastes are. And sometimes you think you can estimate what some people might be into and not be more wrong at the end of the day. It's quite fascinating.
SouthAustralianMusicAwards.com.au if you'd like to find out more details there. You can vote there. You can get your tickets at Mosh Ticks for the South Australian Music Awards. As Christine mentioned, on the 28th of October, it's a Tuesday night at the Encent in the theatre there, which is excellent. 10 years of being a UNESCO music city. What does that mean?
Oh, gosh, it means a lot of different things. So the UNESCO name itself is a really significant name. There's not a lot of people that wouldn't have heard of a UNESCO brand before or an UNESCO designation before. We're really lucky in Australia, in South Australia, that we've been given the first designation as a city of music. And I think that is really appropriate given our history of live music and pop music, but also our symphony orchestra, WOMP Adelaide, is a really significant global music event that brings people in from all over the globe. Our festivals often have a really live presence of music, and it really picks up all music, and it's a celebration of Adelaide as a creative city with a focus on music.
Do you, because you're in the industry, do you hear that from interstate and people jealous of what we have? Because we are so very blessed, and maybe sometimes we take it for granted that we have a world-class symphony orchestra who is available at your fingertips most months. They've got something going on that you can go and see. As you mentioned, we've got great music festivals like no one else in Australia has that kind of music festival, and we do every year on year, day after day. Like, we're very blessed with what we have.
We are, and I think you're exactly right in that we do take it for granted. There is, I would say, considerable rivalry between the states about which city thinks it is like the city of music for Australia. Melbourne claims that it's kind of like the best live music city in Australia. Sydney's giving it a crack at the moment. But
I don't know if you had a subconscious, you had a little shake of the head there too. I don't know, maybe you were just moving your head, but very proud of us here.
I'm very proud of South Australian artists. I actually think because we are such a creative state and because we have got that depth of festivals and cultural firsts, I really think it's almost like having something in the water, and I do think that our artists are exceptional because of the environment they grow up in.
Yes. Guitars in Bars, festivals like those, they've been great for the state to bring more music.
Absolutely. Guitar Festival is really significant, and that opens in just a week or two, I think, at the end of this week, perhaps. But WOMP Adelaide is really significant. I've talked to artists who reference who are now in their mid-20s and working in the music industry, reference being taken to WOMAD from being 6 weeks of age, and that kind of annual Mecca going with the family and being immersed in that environment and articulating the impact it's had on their lives.
And it
as an
sets the
artist.
fire, doesn't it, too, for maybe your career in music. And you don't have to be in front of the microphone. There are other jobs and other things you can do to be involved, and it's a great atmosphere to be around and great people to be around.
I'll also add that we have quite extreme staffing shortages right across the music industry.
really?
So while it can be a bit invisible to see some of the roles in the industry, people are really struggling to fill jobs. So I would say at the moment it's a really viable career option for people who might be interested in exploring the creative arts as a viable career option.
Well, so what if anyone's listening and think that's something up my alley, or I have family members or friends who might be interested, is there a place to go for that?
There are a range of places. There's some national courses and national institutions like SAE. And they offer a plethora of training. TAFE offers some great training. There's a new music industry 3-year degree course being offered out of Flinders University. So if you kind of narrow down your search and do your research, a number of options will turn up. Music SA still runs one course in music performance. And that's given rise to some really great artists coming out of South Australia. Teenage Jones, for example, a touring act at the moment that came out of that particular course.
Are you happy with, I'm sure, like everyone else, you're excited about the recognition that we're now getting publicly for lanes being named after Sia and the Angels? And
yeah, it is. Well, I think it is a brilliant way to acknowledge the legacy of those artists, but it also adds to the visibility of Adelaide as a city of music, and it continues to raise the profile and remind people just how creative we are as a city.
Your Hall of Fame is when?
Oh, gosh, the Hall of Fame happens all year round, and that is an organisation we work side by side with. So they're a separate organisation that run nominations. The last couple of years we have worked with Hall of Fame to bring in some quite high-profile nominations or inductions as part of the Music Awards. And we're working with them now to hopefully unveil another star performer this year. So last year we inducted Guy Sebastian at the Music Awards, and the year before that was Paul Kelly. So again, Hall of Fame has not got to the end of the list of really impressive artists that should be sitting inside that Hall of Fame.
Yeah, when you look at the legacy too of all of what South Australia's been out, but I love too that it's not just the Guy Sebastians and the Paul Kellys that you acknowledge, and there have been jazz nominations, for example. I don't know anything about jazz, but Keith Conlon, who used to work here, and part of that, I know Keith's involved. That's another thing where you're shining a light on these people who have come before us and paying tribute and respect to them too.
But also the bricks and mortar venues that are part of the legacy and memory of Adelaide. So Unibar, for example, as an inductee into the South Australian Hall of Fame, and appropriately the Crown and Anchor, which was a more recent one. And that just kind of continues to cement live music and the memory of music and the experience of live music for people.
Do you have any involvement with the museum that's coming at Thebarton Theatre at all, or you're just being interested?
No, really interested.
On looking like the rest of us when it opens?
Absolutely. But
it's nice
again,
to have Thebe back.
Oh, it's fantastic to have Thebe open. But again, it just shines that spotlight on our history, on our legacy, and it keeps raising the profile of music locally.
Well done. Well, it's amazing work that you're doing. Continued success with it.
Thank you.
Use us as a vehicle if any time you need us to help out with anything with the industry. If you want to let people know,
be careful what you
please do.
Offer.
Not
we'll
every day. I'll get you. Please do. I will more than happily do it. But Christine Schleute is the Music SA CEO. A couple of things that you should know. You can get on to the website southaustralianmusicawards.com.au if you would like to vote there, but also if you want to go along, and I'm sure it'll be the night of nights on Tuesday night, the 28th of October, the Music Awards at the Entertainment Centre in the theatre there. Tickets are available on Moshtix, but if you look it up online, you'll be able to find it as well. Christine, lovely to see you. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Continued success. From Music SA, Christine Schleute, my guest.
When Adelaide needs to know, 5AA News.
Confirmation a skull found at Port Lincoln in July did belong to Julian Story.
The Premier's heading off on a week-long trade mission to the UK. The numbers have been crunched on the 2025 gather round.
Live local.
2 Victorian police funerals for the officers gunned down in Poorpunka.
Local news and information first.
Local GPs are urging the South Australian government to introduce drug testing services.
5AA News. Always Adelaide.
When helping people becomes a business, people can become mere numbers. But at ADL Support Services, we truly care about personal supports for you. I'm Lisa River, and our family-run business is filled with like-minded and dedicated individuals passionate about finding the joy in the ordinary and the yes in the can't. If you or someone you love has a current NDIS plan or is living with a disability, talk to us. Visit adlsupportservices.com.au.
When you book a hearing test with Can Do Hearing, you'll be seen by an accredited audiologist. Can Do Hearing is South Australian, and we're not owned by a hearing aid manufacturer. This means we only recommend what's going to work for you, and your options are almost endless. Plus the extra bonus, our profits go to Can Do for Kids, supporting local kids living with hearing and vision loss. Book an appointment with Can Do Hearing today. CanDoHearing.com.au.
Well, every
That sounds
child
better.
deserves a place where they're understood, they're supported and celebrated for who they are. And at Anglicare SA's Daphne Street Autism Specific Centre, they're passionate about giving autistic kids the very best start. The Prospect Centre brings together early learning with therapies like speech and occupational therapy. This is all in one place. It means that every child gets the support that they need and is right for them. When it comes to children's development, Anglicare SA works on the things that matter most, helping children grow their social skills, build confidence and manage their emotions, and it's all done in a caring long day setting. Take the first step today. Visit the website anglicaresa.com.au and find out more. Anglicare SA, where every child's journey matters.
This is 5AA News, always Adelaide.
Good afternoon, I'm Kendall Brattig. Senators from all sides of politics are hearing about the impact of the crippling algal bloom on day one of public hearings at Seacliff. The new director of the SA Museum has been announced. Dr. Samantha Hamilton will start in October. The temporary suspension of some parcel posts from Australia to the US is set to be lifted. And Crow star Josh Rochelle has been cleared to play Hawthorn on Friday night, providing he gets through training tonight. Showers increasing in 19. At the moment, 17. More news at 4 o'clock on 5AA, always Adelaide.
With a blend of rail and leisure, Holiday Wonders' magical Macedon 6-day tour is the holiday you've been dreaming of. Departing from Adelaide, choose from 3 departures: Sunday, October 26, Sunday, November 23, or special Christmas departure on Sunday, December 21. Enjoy relaxed travel in our premium Red Class Overland train with all meals on board. You'll enjoy incredible sights in Macedon and also on the Bellarine Peninsula, Port Arlington and Bells Beach. To book your next getaway, visit holidaywonders.com.au.
Outgrowing your apartment means waiting for your turn to use the bathroom. Waiting for your turn to use the remote. Waiting for your turn to use the home office / wardrobe / playroom / sunroom. And waiting for your turn to use the bathroom again. Come on! Go from packed to the rafters to the space you're after with Westpac's local home loan specialists. To get it done, it takes a little Westpac. T's and C's, eligibility, lending criteria, fees and charges apply.
Hurry, share with your sister.
Okay, here we go. Hold on, is this muffin 1 or 2 weeks old? Wait, I can say no to sad snacks. I'll head to KFC right now for the new Happier Hours menu. 2 snacks for $5. KFC, FLG. 2 to 5 p.m. Selected items, not everywhere and not forever. Pickup only.
Live, local. This is 5AA, always Adelaide. 5AA Afternoons with Leith, Forrest.
I don't think I've ever had this many people in the studio at one time. In the new studios. Luckily, it's big and there's plenty of room around. The 64, who are, I'd argue, Adelaide's hardest working band, to be honest. I've seen the boys so many times in so many different realms. They are celebrating their 10 years and they've got a major Adelaide concert coming up. Ben Francis is here, Jack Conroy is here, Lachlan Williams is here, and Finnegan Green. Boys, lovely to see you. Welcome along.
Thank you. Hello. Good to be here.
See, this is always hard when there's 4 of you. Who do I go? Ben, let's start with you. 10 years, can you believe it?
I know. We started in a music classroom here in Adelaide 10 years ago. We've all been through quite a number of haircuts since then.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You haven't changed, though.
No, not
you
really.
know, it makes me feel old because I think I might have seen you boys around the first time.
Yes, my skincare regime is working.
That's it. So, but it's one of the great success stories. It kind of reminds me, and you probably heard this analogy a lot. It reminds me of the Human Nature Boys. You know, they all met at school. They all realised that, you know, if we get our voices together, we can make this kind of noise and this can lead it. Could you ever imagine, A, you'd tick over 10 years, but B, you'd have the success that you've had so far?
Definitely not. Not 10. If you told me 10 years ago this is where we'd be, I'd laugh at you, you know.
Yep.
But I think it's always been about fun for us. We fell in love with the music, and it's that kind of love and passion and the fun that we have that has driven the 10 years. So it hasn't really felt like 10 years in some aspects.
Definitely not. It's definitely the fun. I mean, it's the hardest part of the job, I'd say, is staying focused at rehearsals. You know, we book all this time to try and learn new songs, and although we have been doing a lot of
cricket,
we have been doing, you know, many songs for the last 10 years that have stuck around, you know, those Beatles classics, those Monkees classics that everyone wants to hear. But we always try to add, you know, 12, 15 new songs every year, and that's an effort every summertime. But, you know, we get together, we just want to hang out. We've got to focus, we've got to start choreographing, we've got to learn things, and we just want to hang around.
Lachlan, you're an OG. You're there from day one.
Yes, I am. Ben and I.
What was it like at school? You know, were you part of the popular group? Were you the guys that just were off to one side just practicing? Because at the Human Nature Boys, you would think with the success they've had and the success you boys have had, all of a sudden every schoolmate's hitting you up for tickets and all of that kind of stuff. Was it embraced at school?
Sort of a little bit. I think it's pretty. Anything you do that you miss out on recess and lunchtime is considered fairly lame. I think generally your mates want to hang out with you, and then you're like, oh, sorry, I've got choir this lunchtime. They're like, oh, go away. But I think once they actually saw us in action, I think it does. In a school environment, it can be hard to get an assembly a bit rowdy, and I think we've managed that a time or two, which I'm very proud of.
I imagine your families are delighted too that you've ticked over 10 years, because they would have driven you to every event early. And now finally you've all grown up, you've got licenses, you can actually go somewhere yourself.
Absolutely. And in the early days, half the crowd were made up of our family. So
Mom, Dad,
I think they're nice.
Auntie.
They're grateful to see some other people in the audience. So that's
Jack, you joined when?
I joined in 2018. And that has been, I remember one of the funniest things just going on what you said, Lockie, was like having people from school, having people our age come to the show, and they were like, oh, that was really good.
Yeah.
That was actually really good. So that was like, that was back in 2018, and I think we played the Wine Centre just on over North Terrace there. And I think we had 300 people there, which was big for us. And we just thought, oh, my goodness, this is the best thing that we've ever done.
So
ever.
were you watching the boys before you joined?
Yeah.
Thinking, like, you know, voodoo doll type stuff?
A little bit.
How do can we make it the 65?
Yeah, just trying to teleport myself into their heads and see if I can join the group a couple of years later. I think it worked.
Well, you did get through.
Yeah, so... what was the question? I completely missed what I was talking about.
No, I was just going to say, well, you want to get in the group, you know, because I imagine,
you know.
Well, everyone, I'm sure it's the same, Scotch College, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Everyone at school's always proud of their fellow students if they do something, you know, and achieve something. It's like, hey, I know that person. I'll support them. You guys have felt that the whole way through?
Definitely. And it's always nice looking out into the audience of a gig and seeing a couple of people that went to school, you know, with us, and that's really cool. Yeah.
That's it.
But it is weird in that the music that you do may not necessarily be the most exciting for the 16-year-olds that you're going to school with. However, their parents and their grandparents, and I say this as a 5AA announcer who can easily go to my kid's school and no one knows who I am, but I'm big with the nanas, you know. That's how it works.
As are we.
I was about to say, you boys would have that same demographic.
Definitely. Although we do find we get a lot of young people in the audience. Maybe they have been brought along by grandma and grandpa, and they end up really loving it, because the thing is, the 70s, although like 60s and 70s, you might not think, oh, that's gonna, but it's all of that music that's lasted. It's still played at all the 21st birthdays. It's all 70s.
It's so timeless. The music is just so timeless.
Yeah, my 14-year-old comes to me, oh, have you ever heard this song before? Because it's on TikTok. And I was like, I was around when I was a kid. Like,
Sweet
Finnegan, you joined when?
2020.
2020.
Yeah.
So you're the newbie of the group.
Yeah, I'm the newbie. I'm the youngest of the group. So I actually went to see the show at the Arca Bar, I think it was, in 2019. And there's a photo of me sitting there with a poster, like watching the boys.
You're like those AFL photos we see where the player met the kid when he was a mascot, and now you're in the same group.
Yeah, and
That's awesome.
I've known these boys for years. I mean, I've known Lachlan since I was literally a baby. So, and they couldn't find anyone, so they chose the last option, and that's me. So now I'm here.
Well done.
Lucky you can sing.
Have you guys got photographic memories? Where have you played every place in Adelaide you wanted to? Is there a venue you haven't played that you think, Because I'm trying to think where I've seen you.
FIVEAA was up there. FIVEAA was definitely, I mean, I guess, you know, being, if you're a musician in Adelaide, FIVEAA is definitely one of the ones that you just absolutely have to play. I mean, we haven't played the Festival Centre yet and Hermage, but, you know, we'd like to get there maybe.
So I'm trying to think where I've seen you. So I've seen you at the Wine Centre because you've done a number of our charity gigs for Little Heroes over the years. Our 5AA shows you've done at the Adelaide Oval.
Yep. Done a lot of stuff at the Convention Centre.
Aqaba Convention Centre.
Yeah, the new one at, down at Morphettville and
the racecourse?
Yeah, the racecourse. In fact, I think that was for
Little Heroes.
Yeah.
I reckon you did too.
Yeah, might have been.
Norwood Town Hall.
We've done it pre and post refurbishment. Their first year was before they redid it, but they redid it. But yes, Norwood Concert Hall was a new home base for us.
So I'm not sure if you're familiar. There's a book by a guy called Malcolm Gladwell. The book is called Outliers. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. You private school boys.
It's in my shelf. That will probably remain unread. Like
I want you to read it. Because he talks about the 10,000 hours. If you want to be brilliant at something, you've got to do the 10,000 hours. I don't reckon you boys are at 10,000 yet because of your age, but you're close. You know, you're getting there. Have you found that, Ben, from day one to where you are today? Like, we started out small. This is fun. Our parents will enjoy this. Our friends will get a bit of a kick. And now all of a sudden you've chalked up a decade.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's funny, like we were just in rehearsal today and kind of the moves that come to us 10 years ago, they would have we really struggled to work out, what move do we do here? And the harmonies would take a while to lock in. But now it's like, you know, you're on this note, you're on this note, you're on this note. And then we can just sing the song. We don't even need to kind of note bash.
There's times when we hear songs like either we're on a cruise or in public or something like that, and we'll hear a song that we haven't learnt yet, but we know our parts, you know, like the grooves that we've, you know, sort of smoothened out and sanded away out over 10 years are really, really deep now. So we can, just sort of get in a room and sing and
slot into place. Yeah.
Slot into place, absolutely.
Hopefully the closer we get to 10,000 hours, the easier it'll be.
So the age is what? You guys will be the oldest, Ben and Lockie. Okay, so you're
I'm 26, 27 next week.
Okay, happy birthday.
23 Finnegan, and I'm 25.
Okay, so I have this. So Blake, my producers, what are you, Blake? 23? 22, 23.
Legend. Thumbs up for 23.
I get to introduce him to things. He's actually an old soul, probably like you boys are musically, but it is fun for people of my age and even older than us, the 5AA audience who lived it, who were there in the 60s and there in the 70s. I'm sure you guys have moments where you'll hear a song for the first time that all of us have heard for 40 years, and you might think, this is it. I think of it every time I hear one of these new age sort of, you know, musicians that sample something. And I'm like, I remember the original the first time. Have you had those moments? Like, were you growing up? Were your family Frankie Valli fans? Or
I mean, I can distinctly remember the first time us as a group all listened to A Day in the Life by the Beatles.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you could remember the first time you fully went through Sgt. Pepper's, and we were completely floored by it. Just it completely blew us away. And that first time experience to such incredible music is just universal. It affects all of us the same way. You know what I mean?
It's a funny thing where you're actually singing music for the audience of that time, but you weren't there. You know, like that's a great gift that you've got.
And I think that's one of the things that sets us apart from a lot of tribute acts, because when you come to a show, it's like we've turned back the clock. We are what those bands look like in the 60s and 70s, rather than, four old dudes doing what they remember.
You're like Marty McFly. You're actually young blokes who went back, sampled it, and then come back and then told everyone
what
about
they remember is being in their 20s, in their early 20s, and being in the, in the dance hall or, listening to the radio. And that's what we like.
How do you curate there's a million songs, Beatles, Beach Boys, Four Seasons, etc. How do you curate what songs you're going to do?
Well, it's very difficult, I won't lie. And we've got hours and hours of music. So one of the hardest parts of our job is trying to cut back the songs, because we all want, all of the songs in the show.
Is it a vote? Because I've done the maths. 4 is not great for a vote.
Well, yeah. It's,
who gets the deciding vote?
Well, we all kind of sit around a table for a couple of hours and go, I really want to do this song. And it's like, all right, let's do that song. And then we kind of try and work it all out, but it gets there in the end.
There's definitely a debate, but if we ever reach a stalemate, we consult the High Council, which is our mothers.
Yeah, I was about to say someone's mum steps in. I don't know who it is, but there's one mum.
They certainly all come in and share their opinions. Often they're right, sometimes they're wrong. But sometimes there's debate between the High Council, but generally they are, because they've been with us for this 10 years, they've seen the development of the show. They know what works, they know what doesn't work, and all of them have their own experiences in the theatre world. So
mums are all showbiz parents-ish?
Yeah. So Finn and I, our parents were doing theatre together all the way through the 90s, and that's how we...
I see you were destined.
It's a very Adelaide thing, isn't it?
It's the most Adelaide story ever, isn't it?
Well, it is. It's a bit like Hugh Sheridan, like Dennis Sheridan was a legend.
Yeah.
And then there was no doubt that Hugh was going to take by Guy Sebastian's folks did all of that too. So you come from, it's genetic, I guess. Nature, not nurture. The boys from the 64 are here, Ben, Jack, Lachlan and Finnegan. We are celebrating their 10 years, and we'll let you know all about the 10th concert on the way, 10-year anniversary concert on the way. I imagine too, you probably have to pick songs that your voices are suit to. How do we work out? Is there a register? Like who goes high, who goes low? How does that work?
Top down, it goes Ben, Finn, myself, Lachlan, and then Jack at the bottom. So if Jack's taking a solo, then we sort of slot into those harmony parts. But there are some songs, like the first time we heard "Return to Sender" from Elvis, we just went, "That's Jack." That sort of
you can pick it.
Delivery,
or that's a Finn, or that's a Ben, or that's a Lockie. Like we just, again, there's how many hours of 60s music to choose from.
I can say this now because you're friends. I was a little worried for Ben early doors because he used to hit such high notes. And I thought, you know what? You're going to hit puberty and your career's over. And yet you still
wasn't great for picking up girls.
Still hit that. But as fans, you're watching, we would see you at these gigs and think, he can hit the high notes now. But he's about, they'll drop, and then he's in all sorts. He's going to become Barry White. But you still, credit to you, because I assume hitting the high notes are harder than the low.
Oh, yes. Although when I'm sick, I can hit all of the high notes still and can't hit any low notes, which is quite weird. So I'm just the inversion of what most people have. But I remember my singing teacher when I was kind of in middle school and just about to hit puberty, she just kept saying, don't stop. Because the first thing you want to do when you're a boy and you find all these low notes is you want to oh, look at me, I'm 13 and I'm awesome. But she said don't lose those notes, keep singing. I know it's going to be uncool for 3 years, but just keep singing. And so I listened to her and I've still got it all. So
is it everything you hoped it would be and more? When 10 years ago, when you went out and thought, did you think it would last 10 years, or you thought this would just be a bit of weekend fun?
I think and more is doing a lot there, because we just wanted to hang out and sing. We just thought, this is great music, let's put on a show. And then people started enjoying it. Ben kept working, putting on another show, and it just sort of grew into what it is now, like incredibly organically.
Yeah, and I think this is our full-time gig now.
Yes.
If you told us that in high school, we just would not have believed you at all.
And I see you on the socials, like you're always touring too. Is touring fun, or is touring a grind, or is it both?
I feel like it has the ups and downs. Yeah, for sure. Touring's great because you're with all your mates, and we love our band as well. Is amazing. We've got a 9-piece band, which is so cool. But so it is fun. But obviously, it is quite tiring as well, and you're away from your family and you're away from people. So it has its ups and downs, definitely. Yeah.
Where do we go from here? We celebrate the 10-year. What's on the goal board? What are we hoping? I'm going to tell them about the 10-year concert, which we'd urge everyone to get to. But do you set yourself, Ben, have you got a plan? Have you got a 1 year, 5 year, 10-year plan?
Yeah, we just want to perform as much as possible and to as many people as possible. That's kind of the guiding principle, and we want to just keep having fun along the way. We have bookings all the way through next year. We're cruising around the world and
you're doing cruises too, boys.
We do, which is a lot of fun. So
get into that.
Too much fun.
You would
too
never.
Much fun.
Is it too much fun?
Yeah. Open buffet.
Well, that's true. That is true.
There's an open gym too, but the buffet's
I'm not going to the gym 3 times.
I was about to say they never mention that. They never mention the 24-hour gym, 24-hour buffet. You can get all of that. Excellent. Well, look, again, I'm sure you feel the sense of pride that is in the state, because South Australians love other South Aussies doing so well, as we mentioned with Christine a short time ago. Now you've got your big. When did you start? What was the first Fringe? First gig. What was your first gig?
Our very first performance was at the Adelaide Theatre Guide Awards in late September 2015. That was our first ever exposure to people. Then soon after that, we did our very first private function for Frank Ford.
Yep.
And
Legend.
he arranged all of that. Yep. And so we did meet him and we performed for him, and he shook our hands afterwards and gave us our paycheck and said, do not stop. keep going, boys. You've really got something here. And that encouragement from such a figure in South Australian performing really sort of gave us that nudge. Oh, maybe this is something we should pursue.
Cute kids. You had the clothes, which is all important. You had the choreography. It's probably improved, I'll be honest, in the last 10 years.
Definitely.
Early doors, it might have been a little. But what you're doing now is excellent. Now, we're at the Futures Theatre, aren't we? Which is Darley Road at Paradise on the 26th of September. What do we expect from this, the big 10-year?
It's our biggest show yet, and we've got a 14-piece band which to back that show, which is the biggest we've ever had. So we're adding a string quartet as well.
Day in the life.
Yeah, so you can imagine some of those Beatles, well, a lot of the 60s and 70s, it just opens up a whole new sound. So we're really excited for that. And we've got 2 big dance floors as well. So often we go to theatres, and it's one of the things we get after the show is like, I wish I could have got up and danced, but there's no space. So this time we're like, right.
It is funny that I've been to a few gigs where the demographic of the audience is the type to get up and dance, but physically maybe they can't. So they always seat the venue. And then you can't have one person standing up. So this time they'll get their choice. They can get up.
And there's designated spots at the side so you can just have the time of your life.
Let rip. Tickets available at the64.com. 60 the number, 4 spell it out, FOUR, the64.com. Well, congratulations, boys. I mean, 10 years is an achievement. To be fair, you've only really just started. You kind of... I feel the same way. Like, I'm chalking up 25 years at the radio station this year. I look at KG, who's 86. He's still going. Wow. You boys are going to be going for like another 40 years. We'll be talking to you at the 20th anniversary.
How the choreography will go in 40 years.
How will
have to cut it back a bit.
You know what?
We're still bendy now.
Get your hologram choreography going or something like that. Well, it's a great success story. And again, we love that a little bit. We've been able to see it along the way through the charity work that you've done for Little Heroes, and I think you're at more 5AA shows than half the staff are, I'll be honest. Amazing. I don't know who, Katie Bridges, I guess, because of her sort of connection with great music. So Ben Francis, Jack Conroy, Lockie Williams, Finnegan Green, folks, the 64. The date is 26th of September. It's a Friday night, the Futures Theatre, Darley Road at Paradise, the64.com. Beatles, Bee Gees, Frankie Valli, Four Seasons, Elvis, the Monkees, and so much more. Get along, celebrate with the boys, and chalk up their 10th year. Great to see you all. Well done. Congratulations.
Thank you.
The 64. Oh, by the way, the reason I can't get you to sing on the live stream for Complete Care, I told Ben this, I'm flat. Zuckerberg is all over me with copyright.
Oh.
We can. So look, if you want to do a warm up, hit one note to get whatever you want to do so that people can hear anything.
Like
I can't play any song now. Zuckerberg's all over me with copyright.
You can't be a part of a song? Yeah.
Come on.
Oh, dear.
I'm putting you on the spot.
What can we do? I fear I'll
tell you what.
We'll get it pulled.
Save it for the night. See?
Yeah.
By the time it'll be all there.
Leave them wanting more.
We'll see you on the 26th.
26. Good on you, boys. The 64.
Get a coach's perspective each week on the 5AA Sports Show when Rowie and Timmy G chat with Scott Camporeale for Coach's Corner. Thanks to Unique Homestyle Foods, proudly baking for hundreds of South Australian businesses for 35 years. See the difference.
Her mum's on the phone while she's on her skates.
Careful, honey. Don't get too close to the road.
She rides from the top of the driveway to test how fast she can go. And suddenly...
Wait, stop!
She's testing your brakes too. Stop and take time to ensure your car stops in time and the brakes are all you hit. Let Automasters test your brakes before someone else does. Call 1300 Automasters.
Hey, it's Lauren here from Adelaide, and if you're like me and you love a good bargain from your local chemist, check out Star Discount Chemist. They're all about great value and helping your family stay healthy. Go in store or online for click and collect and delivery. Star Discount Chemist. How can we help?
This September, welcome to Downton, sir. Everyone is invited back for one last hurrah. Here we go. Don't miss the epic conclusion on the big screen. It's all part of our story. The critics agree it's brilliant and heartfelt.
We want our visitors to have a good time.
And a great send-off.
Bravo!
Long live Downton Abbey. Downton Abbey, the grand finale.
It's terrific fun.
Only in cinemas Thursday.
Unique, loyal, fun-loving. That's what we look for in our pals. When you're next spending time with your best friends, don't forget some of the best pals you can have. Parafield Airport Liquor Store has your everyday favourites right through to those hard-to-find products. That's what great pals do. Sam and Jamie from Parafield Airport Liquor Store know every drop on the shelf, so you can always rely on their advice. Parafield Airport Liquor Store. PALS. Next to Roulette's Tavern, Kings Road, Parafield.
Win $10,000 a day in the St. John Christmas Home Lottery. Get your tickets before midnight tonight to be in tomorrow's Cash-Timber draw. Your ticket also goes in the incredible $5 million grand prize package draw, where you can choose a stunning waterside home in Adelaide, Sydney, Melbourne or the Gold Coast. There's also 10,000 other prizes to be won in the $7.5 million prize pool. Hurry, the final Cash-Timber draw closes midnight September 25th. Buy your tickets now at stjohnlottery.com.au. Licence M14834. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Get ready, Adelaide. The Rivoli Food Festival is back. Join us from midday on Saturday, 20th September at Milner Place in Rivoli. Just 25 minutes drive from the CBD. Watch live cooking demos with 2025 MasterChef winner Laura Sharrod. Enjoy mouth-watering food stalls, live entertainment and hands-on cooking classes for kids. Entry is free with fun for the whole family. Don't miss the Rivoli Food Festival, where your taste buds come alive. Visit rivoli.com.au/food for more information.
Her mum's on the phone while she's on her skates.
Careful, honey. Don't get too close to the road. Wait, stop!
Let Automasters test your brakes before someone else does. Call 1300 Automasters.
5AA Afternoons with Leith Forrest.
Minutes away from the Sports Show. Stephen Rowe, Tim Ginniver coming up very shortly. Our Complete Care live stream. That's complete with a K. Thank you for your continued support. Couple of text messages before we go. Kim said, Leith, I booked a Princess South Pacific cruise through Phil Hoffman last year. Loved it so much that we booked to go on Princess again. Singapore to Brisbane for Christmas and New Year's. Can't wait. We booked it through Maddie, one of your advertisers. Kim, thank you for that. Greatly appreciate it. One of our others said, any cruise ships going to and from Adelaide? There are a few. If you get onto the Phil Hoffman Travel website, sadly not as many as we had before because of COVID. That unfortunately affected that. But hopefully, as Phil describes each time he comes in, more often than not, it takes some time, but we get them back, just like we've done with the airlines. Hopefully that will be the same with the cruise lines at some stage. In the lead up to Friday's final with the Crows and the Hawks, everything you need to know, you're going to hear on the 5AA Sports Show, which starts next.
Coming up next, Adelaide's only local sports show. It's the very latest in sport, live from Adelaide. Enjoy the crisp, clear digital sounds now with the 5AA Player app. Always streaming